for once in my life. I see pure love staring right back at me.
I have a confession to make. Whenever I start something new, I always have this fear that it's not it's not gonna happen, that nobody's gonna like it, nobody's gonna come, that nobody's gonna be interested, that nobody's as excited about it as I am, and it's just gonna kind of fizzle out and die. Um, Thinking about and preparing to start up my life group again in the fall, I'm having like this inner tension. I mean, I'm so excited to get together with all the amazing women that we have in our life group. But at the same time, I'm thinking like, what if they don't want to come? What if they've changed over the summer and they just don't feel like coming anymore? What if they, whatever. What if they don't come? What if nobody comes? And I know it's kind of silly and everything, but it's just the way I feel. And those fears sometimes make me think things like maybe I shouldn't even bother. Like maybe I shouldn't even, just don't bother even starting it. And I never ever feed thoughts like that because I know they are not from God. But it doesn't stop me from having them. I do have them. But I'm reading through the book of Acts right now, which is, fantastic book. So much in there, so much. But I was reading in Acts chapter 2, verse 1, and it says this. It says, when the day of Pentecost came, they were all together in one place. And then it goes on to tell the story of what happened on the day of Pentecost. And when I read those words, I kept reading in the Bible, but my brain stayed on those words. I couldn't get off those words. I just kept repeating them over and over and over again. They were all together in one place. They were all together in one place. They were all together in one place. And I felt like the Lord was saying, I do amazing things when you do life together. And it was like, yes. It was like this confirming, affirming, from God, just go for it. Just go for it. Do life together. So it made me so excited about my life group and just getting everybody back together again, because God does amazing things when we do life together. And when we are going through difficult times, it's easy to forget that. Actually, we do forget that. When we're going through difficult times, we do the exact opposite of that. We begin to retreat. We begin to pull back. We begin to stop talking. We begin to stop connecting. We pull away from everyone and everything. I think it's a self-preservation thing. I don't know exactly. I think it's a tactic of the enemy. But that's exactly what we do. When we should be really doing the opposite. When we're struggling, when we're going through things, we should be reaching out to people. We should be reaching out for help, calling people. And if they don't hear us and if they don't understand, then we should yell and say, I need help. But we don't do that. We don't do that. And sometimes when, I don't know if you're the same. I imagine that there are other people out there like me that after a season of finishing, like for example, our life group not meeting, and then over the summer it hasn't been meeting, and then starting up again in the fall, we kind of have this idea, well, I don't really need to go. I mean, it was great last year. I had a great time, but I don't really need to go. I think this year's going to be busy because, I've got kids and just starting school or blah, 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 excuse. But the bottom line is the word of the Lord is that He does amazing things when we choose to do life together. So I want to really encourage you. If you are not in a small group, get in a small group. If you come to Life Center and you are not yet in a life group, get in a life group. Find a life group and begin to do life together. Begin to live life together. Give of yourself from an honest and authentic and real place, and people will do the same for you. And I guarantee you that it will not come without pain, without hurt, without conflict. But I also guarantee you that if you do life together, if you do life in community, if you do life with other people, your life will be so much fuller, so much richer, so much better. You will grow, your family will grow, your life will grow. Everything. God does amazing things when we do life together. So that's my little tidbit for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and
Oh,